Welcome back. Still looking at the performances of stocks on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So far, so good today. The market is still likely down as the All-Share Index is down 0.52%, NSE 30 down 0.66%, NSE 50 down 0.32%, NSE Corporate Governance down 0.49%, NSE Banking down 0.13%, NSE Consumer Goods down 0.03%, then NSE Oil and Gas and NSE Premium Index are all down, while NSE Premium Index is down 1.67%, NSE Oil and Gas is down 3.69%. However, a number of sector indicators are in the green, and this include NSE Pension that is currently up marginally 0.01%, NSE Mainboard up 0.40%, NSE Insurance definitely, I will tell you why now. NSE Insurance is up 1.97%, NSE Lotus up 0.42%, NSE Industrial up 1.15%, and NSE ASEM is flat. That is just what obtains on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange as we speak. There are lots of activities. So far, so good. But NEM is still leading, and Royal Exchange. So you could see why NSE Insurance is currently up 1.97%. Cement Company of Northern Nigeria is one of those equities that are currently gaining on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So far, so good today. It is up 7.37%. It was the highest percentage gainer on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange for the year 2018. And expectedly, the company might just put forth another brilliant performance for the year 2019. Custodian investment is up 5.43%. WAPIC is up 5%, and then Transcorp, Sterling, Caverton, and a few others are currently looking up. Anything might still happen before the close of trading sessions on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange today. Meanwhile, Sovereign Trust is currently down. Sovereign Trust is preparing for a right issue. We'll still talk about that if time permits. Lafarge Africa is down. Unity Bank down. Dangote Cement down. Apparently, the reason why the All-Share Index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is down. If it improves much later in the day before the close of trading session today, the indicator might begin to look back up. FBN, the big elephant, is down rather marginally. It could still reverse it. 0.68% is the current performance. 0.68% decline is the current performance of the big elephant on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. UBA is down, United Capital is down, Diamond Bank, I guess there is profit taken now. I turn to Haruna Kibira, our friend from Global View Capital Limited. Haruna, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I think we're just talking yesterday afternoon, and we were on the radio together this morning, and what I said is that in just 1 week, we saw a stock like NEM putting forth about 40, let me look at it, 40, for last week, NEM put forth 43.35% growth. It's talking about a growth that we did not sweat, we did not carry, we did not lift anything, no stress. Just if someone had listened and then had bought when we were talking about NEM on this platform last Monday, today the fellow should be 43.35% richer. Haruna, let's talk about the stock market. Why do you think, upon all the losses we've seen, that anyone should still come to the stock market at all to invest?
I think the stock market is actually favorable and profit discerning investors. You just talk about NEM. As we speak, NEM is still on bid on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange. Yes, people have lost money, and I believe that that those people that don't have that are not information savvy, because what actually is happening in the market is that you must have to have information at the tip of your fingers, and that determines how much you can bring out of the market.
Right. Saying this, we'll come back to look at those major performers last week, but we'll just look at a few information, few news filtering into the market. We look at Access and Diamond Bank. Now, Central Bank, Securities and Exchange Commission have approved is it merger that we call it now? Or
I think it's takeover.
Takeover.
Because they are buying all the shares of Diamond Bank.
All right. And with this, though we know that there would still need be the shareholders' approval, and also the court will have to ratify all these transactions. But when you talk about the Securities and Exchange Commission, that is the apex regulatory power in the capital market, and the central bank for the bank, and that has been secured, right? What does it portend for this transaction?
So it means that the deal is going on. As far as CBN and SEC has given their approval, then it means that the deal is going on. I believe the shareholders' approval and the court ratification is just format.
All right. And I like to say that, to the best of our knowledge, the right that was said, I don't know whether it was said officially or it was just like in the news, but we can say specifically to a large percentage of precision that Access Bank might not be coming to the market for the right issue, at least for now. It might later, but for now, the right issue is being suspended. In place of that, there's going to be a green bond, right? And that has even been sent to the stock exchange. Now, Zenith Bank, Aruna, very early, all right, as at last week, reported that its board had sat on the 2018 full year results. And as we speak now, the result should be with the regulator, because the way it works in the banks is that after the approval by the board, they will have to send it to the regulator to ratify before, or to vet before it is eventually sent to the general market. Now, what are you expecting from Zenith?
I expect them to grow in turnover and in their earnings per share, and also to grow in their dividend. I think that is exactly what the market is waiting for. This notice just showed that they want to be part of the early flyers for 2019, because the earlier you submit your report to CBN, the earlier you can submit it to the Nigeria Stock Exchange upon approval.
And as an active market operator, what will you be telling your client now about Zenith? Will you be telling them to look at Zenith, that it is viable that they could buy, or they should buy, or that they should just wait until the result is released? But looking at the performance of Zenith today, so far so good. I can see that it is just flat, all right? I could see last price 21 naira 50 kobo. I could see the bid is actually strong, if I'm not mistaken. I could see about 13 million bid as against 79,000
on the upper side.
Yeah.
If you look at it, throughout November, December last year, Zenith resisted at 23 naira for a very long time. As we speak, I think it's doing 21 naira 45 kobo, which is a very good buy as far as Zenith is concerned.
It has even done as much as 21 naira 50 kobo today, as I can see here. And so far so good today, 11 million units has.
And why you see that bid is that when nobody want to be bullish, but they want to take position in Zenith, but nobody want to be bullish about it. The question is that I'll be doing 21.50. Let me queue at 21.45. If I get it, so be it.
All right. We look at now the equities that did well last week. NEM Insurance, and so far so good today. Let me call up and see if I can get very quickly what NEM is currently doing on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. But before the data comes up, what do you have to tell us about NEM? If I missed NEM last week, will you still be recommending that I could still go ahead and buy NEM?
NEM is quietly doing 2.72 kobo comfortably, because I discovered that there's about 2 million unit on bid, unsatisfied bid, and at 2.72 kobo, NEM is still 25% away from its 52-week high of 3.50 kobo. So there's every possibility that people taking it at 2.72 kobo today can cash out at 3.50 kobo, which is about 22.5%, which is not a bad investment.
From what I'm seeing here, today alone, NEM has done 20 million unit. So far, so good. Today, from what I can see here, I can see that it has grown 9.67% just today alone. But the specific question is this. Look, we're just conversing, right? Let us assume that with this 2.72 kobo, I missed out. I couldn't get it to buy under 2 naira. If I go to buy at 2.72 kobo, how far more do you think?
That is what I just said. There's another 25% movement between 2.72 kobo and 3.50 kobo.
That is still possible.
That is still possible to take.
So that means, in a way, you are indirectly saying that I can still go ahead.
Possibly, if you look at the bid level and the volume that NEM has traded today, just tell you that it's going somewhere, that is heading up to 3 naira. And if you touch 3 naira, there's also possibility of going across 3 naira.
Sovereign Trust Insurance was up 30% last week, but as at this morning, as at today, it is losing, right? As a matter of fact, it's, as I last saw, it was the highest percentage loser on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. They are coming to the market to do right. Would that right be attractive?
Well, it cannot be more. It cannot be sold more than the price that is on the floor. I think
26
maybe,
kobo.
And that is exactly why I went to 26 kobo over the last weekend. And I don't think well, it depends on what you look at. If an active player in the market may not actually be looking towards sovereign trust, especially investors who want to have a stake in the company.
And more so, the company and the stock price actually came to 20 kobo before it now began to rise to 26 kobo. And I wonder what price they want to sell. Are you sure that this company will not first of all come and do share reconstruction and thereafter come do right again? Because how much are they going to raise?
You know, I told you
are they going to sell it at 1 naira?
Any company doing share reconstruction, they're doing it within the ambit of Kama.
Yes.
So actually, they are doing they are not doing what they call ultra-vires.
But I don't know. They want to do right. The price on the stock in the market is 26 kobo. What is the quantity of shares they will have to issue? What price are they going to sell it? Are they going to sell it higher than the price in the market? Even if this price tag goes to move by, let's say, 100%, it will just be 52 kobo. At what price will they be coming to the market?
They will offer it at a discount, maybe 20% discount to the market.
Even if they do it at 50 kobo, let us say for the sake of argument, they come to the market with their right at 50 kobo. Aruna, what quantity of shares would they be issuing, and how much do you think they will raise?
It depends on how much they are looking at and what ratio they are going to issue the right. And they will have sat down and look at what ratio and at what price that will bring to their table, what exactly they are looking for.
No, I guess something is not just going on well, as I can see here, Because if you come to do 20 kobo right issue, all right, let us say 30 kobo right issue, and you want to raise 1 billion, do you know the quantity of shares? At the end of the day, the price of that equity will stay permanent at that 20 kobo. It will find it difficult to rise.
Well, can I ask you a question? You need money and you want to do right.
Yes.
And your price is 30 kobo in the market.
Yes.
You can't go and do right at 1 naira. You have to do it at the 30 kobo. That your price is trading on the floor of the Nigerian stock exchange. The only thing you do is to either play with the ratio to make sure that you get to your
Aruna, the truth of the matter is that, is it right issue the only source of fundraising in the market? Why, if they believe in themselves, if they believe in their business, why can't they issue bond? When you issue bond, you are not adjusting your outstanding number of shares, but it has to be collateralized and becomes extremely compulsory for them to pay back, because if they don't pay back, the collateral will be realized. And as a matter of fact, it is even cheaper, all right? But when they come to the market to do right, it is almost nothing. The cost is nothing. But the probability is that for those who will be investing in the right, the price of this equity will find it difficult to move beyond 20 kobo, except they come to do share reconstruction. And even after share reconstruction, the price will still come down.
But what you should also be looking at is that the CFO will have sat down and look at cost of capital, and they believe that issuing right will be the cheapest. So
at what now? Must you sell your right at giveaway price? Look, do you know why I'm saying this? Particularly for sovereign trust. If I'm not mistaken, I think around 2004, I invested in sovereign trust. As a matter of fact, I bought for all my children. Between then and now, I can tell you what dividend they have given. But with this that they are doing, it doesn't make sense to me.
If, assuming that you have the shares of sovereign trust and you want to...
I have it.
Okay, that you want to raise money to buy a car. At how much are you going to sell it? It's 20 kobo.
It's not sellable.
So that is exactly what they are doing. It's at the price at which it is trading on the floor that determines what the right should be.
Now let's leave Royal Exchange. We come to CCNN. Just last week alone, this company made a growth of 25.50% just 1 week. We're talking about CCNN on the radio this morning. Aruna, tell me a little about CCNN.
You see, I think what is surrounding CCNN is that Calebama, which already has about 25% share CCNN, are taking over CCNN, and what they are bringing on the table is that there is an exchange of 1 unit of Calebama's share for 98 units of that. 1 unit of Calebama, for 198 of CCNN, and they have to issue extra shares, which has actually been listed on the floor. But what they are bringing to the table is that they are going to grow the top line. Sometimes what I've looked at is that they are going to grow the top line far more than the dilution of shares they are bringing in. Like before now, CCNN was doing a 500 million metric ton. But CCNN is bringing 1.5 million metric ton. So you look at the synergy. Like I said, the figure that may be coming out of that synergy as we progress may be mind-boggling. And analysts has revalued CCNN, and they are putting a buy price at 45 naira. And it's just doing, as we speak now, it's doing 27 naira on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange.
And to the best of my knowledge, the shareholding distribution is favorable to the company, because majority shares of the company are concentrated in the hands of few investors that will not sell.
That will not sell.
So the float in the market is not
will be small.
But as we speak now, in other words, you are saying that one could still consider investing in CCNN.
If you look at the previous performance, it has got it to 32 naira. And from the 27 naira that is doing today, that means it's about 20%, still about 20% away. And if it is true that the new intrinsic value of 45 naira that we're giving it, then it means that there is a lot to still be made from the stock of CCNN.
I'm talking about its performance. So far so good today. Wow, it has gained additional aside from the 25.50% it gained last week, today alone it has gained 7.37%. So as we speak now, it's selling at almost 27 naira, 26 naira, 95 kobo.
Yes.
And just about 1 million units. But I can see that relating the bid and the ask sizes, I can see the bid 1,074,441 units, and then the ask size just 837,387. So is it still possible that after this 7.37%, it could still move up a little?
That is if there is a board lot at the highest price of 27 naira 60 kobo. Chances are that there will be no up to 50,000 that is offering. So if there's no board lot, it might not close higher than 27 naira that we are seeing it.
All right. Okay, we look at those equities that are currently losing on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Lafarge, they came to the market, they said they are doing right, and all those. I can see the equity currently losing on the exchange. What do you have to say about Lafarge?
It's just that the market is not happy with Lafarge. They came, they did right with the hope that they are going to write off a cost of capital from their books, and we believe so. And by the time they bring their quarter 3 result, cost of capital was still very high, and which is actually eating up their numbers. And they came back to the market to do another right. It's just like we were trying to talk about sovereign trusts. How many does it mean that after this right there's going to be another right? I think that's exactly why people are trying to divest from that company.
Diamond Bank this today has lost 0.95%. Is it that people are taking profit?
Profit taking.
But the price is just 2 naira 8 kobo. We still have 1 naira 13 kobo plus or minus, talking about what Access is offering.
Because somebody who have taken it at 160 and they're selling over 2 naira, has it lost anything? And so sometimes it depends on your strategy and your objective, your investment objective. Like what happened to NEM this morning. A number of people cash out at 40%, a number of people cash out at 50%. So what are you waiting for?
But why must I cash out at 40% when there is still the possibility for me to get another 10 or 20%?
What if you have a need for money come? Depend on whether how liquid.
The big elephant is currently down 0.68% at 7 naira 25 kobo. At 7 naira 25 kobo, will you say that the big elephant is cheap?
Of course, at 7 naira 25 kobo. I think the market, what the market has been waiting for, I also believe that ABNH should actually be working actively to achieve that, is to make sure that their provision for loan is reducing.
Right. And at 7 naira 25 kobo, for those who are not existing investors of the big elephant, will you be recommending that they can still go ahead and invest in it?
Do you know that one of the problems was the exposure to oil and gas?
Yeah.
And whether we like it or not, even this morning I understand that there was a small increase in the price of oil. And I believe that as far as petroleum is going up, if they are able to write back what they have written off, it will boost their bottom line. At 7 naira 25 kobo, I think FBNH is still okay.
But I can even see the bid far better than the asking price sizes this today, and I can see about 12.7 million units being traded so far. So good today. I'm still looking at some of those equities that are currently losing on the stock exchange live as we speak. United Capital. Is there any issue?
It's not. It's also profit taking because we saw United Capital at 2 naira 70 kobo, 2 naira 80 kobo. It went over 3 naira. And there are people that would have taken it at less than 3 naira. The moment it went over 3 naira, they begin to take their profit.
Wow. Guarantee at 31 naira 80 kobo after losing 0.47% today.
I think I will classify Guarantee and Zenith. You see, they came to their lows, they came back, and Guarantee came to 31 naira 95 kobo. and it went to 33 naira. And you know this type of market we are now, a number of people don't want to, they want to be position holders. What they want to do is to take whatever they get from the market and wait for another opportunity. And it's that same pressure that normally pull down prices like Guarantee and Zenith.
What about Transcorp? Transcorp today alone has gained 3.15%. So what's happening in Transcorp? But we learned that they just changed their managing director.
We saw Transcorp losing down to 126 and it's coming back. And what is just telling you that it's coming back to the 130 kobo that it has been, because I believe that is where it's going to take off from, especially when the Q4 results are being rolled into the market.
So far, so good today for Transcorp. It is just 1.9 million units. What about the float of the company? Is it of the stock? Is it readily available?
Transcorp is very liquid. But the only thing is that Transcorp and Owando, like we call them Ogbanjes, they can be up and running in the morning, by evening they are dead. So no matter how many units that you see on bid for Transcorp, 30 million units, somebody can supply it. And even if you see another 30 million on offer, one person can clear it. It's very, very liquid.
Right. As you mentioned Owando now, it's long we talked about Owando on this platform. Unfortunately, the price of Owando is down to 4 naira 50 kobo. I know that quite a number of people invested in this stock at well over 30 naira, and today it's 4 naira 50 kobo, though it has gained 1.12% today. Is there hope for those who bought Owando at relatively higher price, and then the stock is 4 naira 50 kobo?
I think there is hope. The only thing that why we have not be talking about Owando is that it seems the information has not been coming from them. Much information has actually not been coming from Owando.
Meanwhile, the Ultra Index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is still relatively down, apparently in response to the decline in the price of Dangote cement. But let me take you through the performances of the African stock market for last week, where most of the markets across the African continent had begun to see positive movement. You know, in the upper week, the market across the African continent actually was down. Most markets in the previous week across the African continent was down. But for last week, the markets actually did very well. Of course, for a few of them, their year-to-date are still relatively down. But for that last week, you could see Zambia growing by 9.98%, as I earlier said. You could see Zimbabwe growing by 6.58%. You could see Kenya 1.87% in the previous week. Kenya market also moved on. Now for like 2-3 weeks consistently, the market in Kenya has been up. The market in Morocco was up last week, 1.02%. Market in Tunisia and that of Tanzania were up for last week. But like I said, the markets in Egypt, the market in Cote d'Ivoire, all led losers for last week. All right, Aruna, with the way the market is performing today, do you see the market closing in the red or closing in the green?
You know that about 2 Mondays ago, while we were talking about the market was, the all share index was in the red, I told you that there's every possibility that when the price of Dangote reverses, that the market will going to be in the green. And what you just read, that NSE premium is highest, is down at 1.56%, courtesy of the reduction in the price of Dangote cement, and I believe that I see that one reversing. If not Dangote gaining, it might close flat, and that will help the market to return positive.
All right. Aruna, what is global view? Capital, what are the stocks they are recommending to their clients as we speak?
What we are recommending to our clients is fundamentally sound stock that have done very well in their quarter 3, and when we prorated, we discovered that what they are going to return at quarter 4 will be fantastic, and those that are paying dividend, that their dividend forecast will be a little bit higher than what they paid before. One is Zenith, the other one is Guarantee. We have UBA. We have removed assets before, but now that they said they will stop the right, because actually that was taking a negative B on their shares. Assets is there, Fidelity, FCMB, and Transcorp.
You seem to be concentrating on bank stocks.
You know, we have about 189 listed stocks. We leaned on CCNN before, but as we speak, CCNN is doing 27 naira. We have already talked about CCN so much. We have the hype about CCN is high. But why I'm not going to talk about CCN now is that, especially for those that want capital appreciation, it is possible to make 100% in Transcorp. It's possible to make 100% in FCMB. It's possible to make 100% in Fidelity. So that is why I lean more on that.
All right.
Low cap stocks.
All right. Okay, Haruna, I've got to let you go now. I want to say a very big thank you for coming to the show today. And I want to believe also that even as we try as much as possible to connect with what is happening right away on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we've been well guided. Going forward, you should be able to know what stocks to pick or not to pick as we speak. Are there equities Global View are looking at as those that will be able to withstand any shock, bearing in mind that there is election fear in the mind of some investors?
Of course. We have Mobile.
Don't say, oh, if you want those lists, please contact Haruna. No, you can't give everything
Yeah, we
want
have.
for free.
Because we believe, because when you look at all the time that the market was going down, they were there. They are there. Their prices go up when the market price is going up, but their prices don't respond to fall when the market is falling. So they are there. We have them.
And let me also ask you this question. You see, the current administration, President Buhari's administration, prides itself in infrastructural development, all right? And some of these are actually visible. Travel along Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. Of course, this government didn't start it, but they have done a lot in improving on the construction of that road. They also pride themselves in the construction of railroads all across the country, all right? Now, in all this power, in all this infrastructural development, what specific companies or equities do you think this had impacted in the flow of the Nigerian Stock Exchange?
One is, the first one is Transcorp. You know, they are into power. Then we have Forte Oil through Garego.
All right. And definitely the cement manufacturers.
Yeah, because they have like
Julius Berger.
The person that got the contract, especially Julius Berger, yeah. Unfortunately, Berger is not listed on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. But it's going to impact on Julius. I mean, the Berger itself.
All right. Okay. So that is much we can take from Haruna today. By the grace of God, I'm sure I'm going to be with you again next week, Monday, on this platform. All right. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I've been speaking with Haruna Kebira. He is from Global View Capital Limited. I'm going to go on a short break. When I return for just 8 to 10 minutes, I'm going to be taking you through the little processes